USA Radio News with Chris Barnes.
President Trump's denying reports that Health Secretary Alex Azar is on his way out of that job. On Twitter yesterday, the president called it fake news and said the media wants to create chaos and havoc in the minds of Americans, assuring followers that Azar is doing, quote, an excellent job. The reports had claimed the White House was planning to oust him because of criticism of the early response to the coronavirus outbreak. Treasury Secretary Steve Mnuchin is looking for the U.S. economy to rebound this summer.
I think as we begin to reopen the economy in May and June, you're going to see the economy really bounce back in July, August, September.
He spoke on Fox News Sunday. In Georgia, with the virus slowing down, the governor is allowing restaurants to reopen their dining areas today as long as they adhere to many guidelines. And this is USA Radio News.
Balance of nature. Changing the world, one life at a time.
I've had a lot of really great days back to back, which has been a huge blessing. Even my doctor told me, because they asked me to bring everything in that I take on a daily basis. He was very encouraged by seeing what I was taking, and he said he didn't care how many I had. He said it's food. And the form that it's in was something that he was very, because he's an avid learner, and he's always researching, and he's always excited to see new things. And he told me this will be good. This will help you immensely with the nutrition that you need.
Experience the Balance of Nature difference for yourself. Right now, Balance of Nature is offering free shipping and 35% off on any new preferred order. Start your journey to better health today by calling 1-800-2468-751 or by going to balanceofnature.com. And make sure to receive this special radio offer by using discount code USA.
Police in Baton Rouge, Louisiana say they're mourning the death of one of their own after a shooting as officers were searching for a murder suspect yesterday.
As a result of the shooting, we lost a 21-year veteran, the Baton Rouge Police Department.
That's the chief, who says a second officer is wounded and still fighting for his life. The suspect did surrender after a 4-hour standoff during which they say he fired more shots at officers. British Prime Minister Boris Johnson says he's ready to get back to work after recovering from COVID-19. The 55-year-old returning to number 10 Downing Street yesterday after spending 2 weeks at his country residence. The White House says President Trump spoke with him by phone a couple of days ago, and the two agreed to work together to combat the global coronavirus pandemic. Wall Street futures up at this hour as oil prices do continue to fall. Dow futures up over 100 points. This is USA Radio News.
Broadcasting worldwide from the Ashby Real Estate Broadcast Studio. This is HIP Radio Network, Georgetown, your hometown station.
Here's your Georgetown forecast from the HIP Radio Network Weather Center. Mainly sunny skies today with highs around 87. South winds 10 to 20 miles per hour. Cloudy tonight, lows around 69. Cloudy skies expected again tomorrow. Daytime highs approaching 88. Mid-80s Wednesday with a chance for scattered storms. Warmer Thursday with highs in the upper 80s. That's a look at your forecast. I'm meteorologist Paul Trombley. Currently, it's 63 degrees.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The switch is on. Welcome to Good Morning Georgetown with Rob and Ken. Waking you up in the mornings and getting your day started with the hottest hits, news, and jokes. Get ready. And now here's your hosts, Rob Hip and Ken Covington.
Tuesday morning, Georgetown, Texas. It is 6:08 a.m. Tuesday, associated with Mars. Tuesday associated with Mars. Probably wondering this morning, why did I say that? Well, hey, how about we'll get into it here in a little bit. I've got 22 terrific facts about Tuesday coming your way this morning. But before I do that, as always, wasn't here last week because I had prior obligations and commitments, but back with us this Tuesday, live, ready to rock and roll, in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Jay Harris in the house. What's going on, man?
Good morning, Georgetown. Good morning, Rob. Oh, man, it's good to be back this morning. Yeah, I missed you last week. I ended up going down to, not everybody knows, we have another Disciple House down in Conroe. Chris Follett doing a great job down there that we planted 8 years ago. And, man, we have just seen such great, incredible success in the Lord down there over the last 8 years. Chris is doing a great job. Just moved into some new facilities down there and just so much going on. We're just so excited. And so I went down there and hung out with him and then also did an intervention. And it was just a great Tuesday. But I did miss you, but I did listen. And, of course, you did a great job. And it's just so much fun. So good morning, Georgetown. Good morning, Rob. Thanks for having me on Tuesday mornings to just encourage and be a part of this great network.
In the words of Joshua Harris and Rob Hipp this morning, you better believe it, buddy. You better believe it. Boy, I missed that. You know what's so sad, Rob? And I know we're having to work through all of this together, but every few days I get a notification on my phone because what I did when we set up the baseball season for the Georgetown Eagles, one of the best baseball teams in the state of Texas, in the United
I set
States,
all the dates that we had chosen to do together. And man, I hadn't taken them off, and I get that notification that we're supposed to be calling baseball that day. And boy, just my heart just sinks every single time. I think I've even texted you a few times. We're supposed to be calling baseball right now. Boy, I sure miss it.
Yeah, you have, man. Last year we had some incredible opportunities, of course, to call Georgetown baseball through that state championship run, and then also at St. Edward's University. You and I got to do a little Division II baseball, man, and that was a blast. And, man, really missing it. But more importantly than us missing it are the kids. And just your heart goes out to those kiddos, man.
That's what I'm really saying. I mean, I'm saying I'm missing being there, a part of being in the excitement of those student athletes. And yeah, it was so much fun doing some college baseball. And you have opened, Rob, I just want you to know, and I speak for quite a few, I know, but you have opened up some really cool doors for us in what you're, passionate about that I would have never been able to open up for myself, like radio. I mean, I did radio years ago, but these mornings, and then the sports broadcasting a few years ago that you welcomed me, and we started doing football together. And then, I've gotten to call college football with you and college baseball with you. I never would have had these opportunities. So I know you don't ever brag on yourself or boast in yourself, but I've watched you open up doors for many guys and women that we could have never, even thought of. And so all of your heart and all of your dedication all these years to get this going, and you've opened up some cool stuff for us to be a part of with you. So I just want to say thank you for that, man. I don't think people really realize how hard you work.
I appreciate that.
And I'm grateful for you, Rob Hipp.
Hey, well, I appreciate that. It means a lot, man. You're gonna tear me up this morning here on a little.
Well, that's my goal. It's a tear up Tuesday.
Tear up Tuesday, man. That's awesome. Good morning to James Outlaw joining us from St. Mary's, Georgia, as always this morning. Good morning to you, James. Josh, I appreciate those comments. Man, it's as you know, and your heart is right there with where I'm at on this, man. It's all God. It's just the opportunities have been phenomenal, and I never take them for granted because. It's one of those things, and I've learned in this industry, a good friend of mine, someone who gave me an opportunity to get to the next level. And, your career progresses. You always want to progress in your career wherever you're at, whether you're working at H-E-B or you're working for a Fortune 500 company. In fact, I have a friend who in high school started out as just a grocery bagger at H-E-B, and now he is one of the regional managers. And he has worked his way up, and he has always been that type of a motivational person, just in his own life, but then others around him. And I think it's so important in your career. You may be okay with where you're at, and that's perfectly fine. But there's a lot of folks who always want to work and get to that next level. And there's nothing wrong with staying where you're at if that's where you want to be. But if you want to get to the next level, you got to work for it. And I'm going to tell you, man, there was a really dear friend of mine that I've got to know over the past year and a half, and I've learned, man, that radio is just it is a tough business, Josh, and it's a business, at least on the traditional side of FM radio, where it's based on multiple factors, ratings, and who knows what, honestly. And unfortunately for him, he was let go after almost 30 years, with this particular venture. And my heart goes out to him, and I know that he's going to move on to something even bigger and better because he's a believer like you and I. God has something in store for him. But he gave me an opportunity, Josh, and without that opportunity, I wouldn't have gotten to the next level. And I'm just hoping and praying that opportunity still exists, coming up this fall. We don't know what's going to happen yet as far as football this fall. I mean, so far everything is like, yes, we should be playing, but are we going to be playing in an empty stadium? We don't know that yet. We don't know those things yet. And I'm going to tell you, man, you just got to be with where you're at. You just said the word a while ago, just the gratitude and grateful, man. And I'm grateful and have gratitude that you're my friend and that we all have friends and somebody that we can lean on. You send me prayers in the morning, man, and that motivates me and encourages me. And I know that you send those to other folks and you have your prayer closet. Those are such important things in people's lives to be there for somebody. I talked about on the show my buddy Kenny, every single birthday. When they used to say birthdays was your worst days and now you sip champagne when you're thirsty. We don't say that, but that's an old school hip-hop song. But I'm going to tell you, man, every single birthday I look forward to this text message from my buddy Kenny. He's my best friend growing up, and he's married and has a family, lives in Colorado now, but he's still my best friend. We just don't get to talk and hang out. Like, in fact, I haven't seen him probably in 3 years, but we still chat every once in a while on the phone. And that is so cool to have those kind of people in your life. Those people that you have in your life, friends, cling to them. Don't give up. Don't neglect to call those people and to chat with those people. Even if you don't get to see them like Kenny, I don't get to see Kenny physically. But I'll tell you what, man, I think the world of that guy, just like you, and he encourages me and lifts me up. Hold on to those people. That is your Tear Me Up Tuesday message.
Yeah, I mean, it's important to have those legacy friends that will always have made such an impact in your life. And I've got a group of men I call my inner circle guys, and then also have some men that have gone on to be with the Lord or doing other things. But you know what I know, Rob, if I ran into them today, it would be just like we'd never stop hanging out. It's just one of those things you just pick right up, and that connection is there, and that bond is there. And just like with Kenny, I bet you haven't seen him in a couple of years or whatever, but you get that message from him. You could run into him today, and you guys would just be off and running in that relationship. And those friendships are so important. And I feel that way about you as well. And I love to encourage you because you've been such a great blessing in my life as well, and giving me opportunities. As I was thinking about all the different cool things we've done, we've not only went from the high school level to the college level, but me and you have gotten to call some semi-pro football here this last year, and another door that the Lord opened up. And man, what are we going to do there? We're going to be calling, football for the semi-pro. It's so uncertain right now, but here's what we both know. Whatever God wants us to do, that's what we're going to do. Whatever door he wants to open, he's going to open. And wherever we're at, we're going to make an impact on 1 or 100 or 1,000 people on any given day. And that's just what it's all about. But yeah, I'm so watching to see what in the world is going to happen here in the days ahead with not only the summer and the off season, but also with the new school year coming up. And we're in some interesting times, my friend.
We just got to keep our eyes up ahead. I always say, I don't want to say like keep your eye in the sky because Jesus doesn't live in the sky, but we got to keep our eyes ahead of us and know that there's always a hope. There's always a future. The other day I put on my Facebook, I talked about fear, and the true calmness comes in Christ. And I believe that as a believer. Look, some of you listening this morning saying, I'm not a believer. I don't want to hear that. But I'm just telling you from my standpoint and what has been important in my life and in Joshua's and so many others. And I just want to tell you that it has been a blessing to me, is that I know that in the midst of a storm, and it's biblical, Josh, as you know, in the midst of a storm, there's calm in Christ. And I'm going to cling to that. And I don't care, Josh, you sent me something yesterday, and we don't hear it enough. And I'm not knocking any modern church or anybody in the church world today, but I don't think that we hear the message of hell enough. And you had sent me a message yesterday. And look, I'm not trying to help. It's not doom and gloom, but it's a very real.
But it's real.
It's a real thing.
We got to keep it real in a world that's collapsing right now. God's doing some really cool stuff with it, and so there's hope, but there's also warning in everything.
Yeah, and you had sent me a message yesterday that was really powerful because I haven't heard it in a long time. I really, honest to goodness, have not heard it in a long, long time, that the devil is a liar.
Yeah.
And that's straight up. And I needed to hear that, because I don't ever want to get to a point, Josh, in my career and in my journey to where I forget, and I won't, but I don't ever even want to fathom the one little inch or ounce or whatever you want to call it of me thinking that I had progressed because of me. It's not because of me. It's because of what Christ has done for me and through me, but more importantly, well, that's the most important. And then the second important is those that are around me. That's what it's about, man. That's what it's about.
I love that. And it is real. And listen, we all love the heaven side of it, but there's the other side that God never created for any of us. That's real. And that's what's working. That's the evil forces. That's the demonic forces that are working in all of these diseases and all of these things to try to waver our faith and kill our faith. And so, listen, here's the reality, and we're never trying to fit anybody. We are believers, though, and this is it's not so much as a Christian station, but we are a Christian group that wants to encourage people in the Lord always, and that's who we are at Oak Ridge first and foremost. I'm never going to sugarcoat that whatsoever. But here's the reality of what we're going through right now, that there's a spiritual war that's going on at all times around us. The Bible makes it very clear that we wrestle not against flesh and blood. We don't fight against each other. I mean, it looks like that, but what it is, it's an evil force, that good and evil, whatever you want to call it, but it's real and it's around us at all times, and it's trying to kill our faith or grow our faith. And here's the reality of Jesus. Jesus talks more about hell. I think it's 3 times. I can't remember the exact, the percentage, but 3 times more about hell and how real that is, and that he doesn't want any of us to go there than he does about heaven. Now, why would he do that? Because he's trying to say, listen, in this world, there will be trouble, and there is an evil force that is trying to pull you away from me. Be very, very careful.
Appreciate the word this morning. I needed to hear it. I know many out there wanted to hear it. They needed to hear it, and that's what we want to do here on the show. We just bring you we just bring you.
We're going to tell you the truth, but we love you, and it's going to be a great day. So let's get going.
Hey, so real quick, man, I go to UT Health Austin once in a while. I haven't been down there during this whole coronavirus pandemic, but that's where I go for specialty doctor. And, man, my nieces were with me the other day. I've only seen very limited family. We haven't been getting out. The ones that we have seen, we've kind of quarantined with each other. And my nieces, they were with me, and I'd went to get us something to eat, a little, to go eat. And I looked in my cup holder, and I had 3 coins in my cup holder. And my niece was like, "What is that?" And I'd forgotten about it. I have the dollar coins, man. They give them to you at the parking garage at UT Health Austin. And so I intentionally overpaid what I was supposed to pay, because they don't give you dollar change or coins. They give you the dollar coins. I intentionally did that, man, and I got 3 of those dollar coins out of that bad boy.
Do you know what? I love when places do that. Mary Hardin Baylor, Go Crew, where I went to school, when at the football games, they don't give back quarters. They give back 50-cent pieces. And I have been looking for a 1970 50-cent piece now, because that's the year I was born, and I thought it would be cool to carry one around. And it's not superstition, but I like doing little things, and I'll carry little things. And I'll get those dollar ones like you do and give them to people and just say, hey, listen, I want you to hold on to this. And it's just an encouragement for you or whatever. My kids love them. I love when places do stuff that really nobody does, so that we can, kind of have fun with that. What are you planning on doing with those? You don't see them a lot. So you're just going to keep those, or you're going to bless other people with them? What's your plan?
I may just keep them in the car for now.
Yeah.
I was waiting on I was going to give one to my niece, but she didn't ask for it. They're not bashful. If they want some, they'll just say, Uncle Rob. So, but she didn't ask. She didn't ask for it. I think I am going to get. I've got 3 of them. I'm going to give one to each of my nieces though. Next time I see them.
That's what you should, because you didn't ask, but I want you to know. I noticed that you thought that this was really neat, what that was, and I want you to have one of these. I want you to just hold on to it. This from your Uncle Rob, and every time you look at it or you hold it, I want you to know that your uncle's praying for you and loves you very much.
I love that.
Man, I bet you that'll make a huge impact on her.
I love that, man. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do next time I see him. I was waiting on them to ask for it, because they like to ask. That's okay. They're a little bashful. Yeah. That's okay. Get on down there. Hey,
come on, they got to come on down and get the rest of it too, Rob.
Factsite.com this morning. A little fact site. We're going to get into some local news coming up here in a little bit, or national news. We got some local news that's really important as well, but We're going to have a little fun this morning. Also joining us at 7 a.m., Rob Kitty and Michael Price of the Georgetown Beard Club. Now, we've had both of those gentlemen on this show before, but they have got a new project that they're going to announce.
Nice.
So looking forward to talking to those guys and hearing from them a little bit later this morning. And then already this week, we have Eric Leslie joining us tomorrow of the Saudi Mind, his business and what he does. A pretty cool opportunity here to hear from Eric tomorrow. And then on Friday, Josh, really awesome. We're going to have the Georgetown Lady Eagles head basketball coach Rhonda Farney, the legend of Texas in high school girls basketball, joining us on Friday to talk about what they are doing as far as honoring the seniors here this year in basketball, the basketball girls this year coming up. So it's really cool. We're going to talk to her about that project and what they're doing. They have been putting signs all around Georgetown, and it's really cool. So I'm excited to have Coach Farney on. I reached out to her yesterday. And so we're working, man. We've got a lot of things cooking. But today is Tuesday, and I've got some terrific facts about Tuesday. Josh, you want to hear them?
I do. But you know what? I just want to backtrack 1 second and talk about how interesting it's going to be to have that coach on and get a little insight and hear her heart behind, what she's experienced during this craziness, and then what she can expect or what she thinks we can expect from maybe even the coming year and so forth. So that's going to be exciting to hear not only her honor the seniors, which I know, I tell you, at the end of this school year, they're all trying to do in a way that will make it interesting and fun. And also, kind of relieve some of the pain of not being able to go through the senior moments. And, we've even talked about it. They're going to be missing out on, lots of this end of the year stuff. And then also colleges looking at them and so forth. So I'm excited to hear what she has to say and to just be an encouragement to all of us of how this UIL season is ending and what it looks like in the future, maybe.
Yeah, I don't know how things are going to turn out, and we're just going to have to wait and see, and hopefully we can be back in business. Tuesday. Did you know that Tuesday gets its English name? Most things, of course, from England. Of course, that's where you trace it back, and most of us, that's where it started. Tuesday gets its English name from the Old English. I don't even know how to say this because it's one of those weird letters that is an A and an E combined, Josh. Tuesday. Tuesday. I have no idea. Tuesday. Try to say that with a little cup of tea. Tuesday. I have no idea.
No, I'm not doing that. You're not tricky. I'm not doing that. No. So you get me to say some things sometimes, but I'm not going there.
Cup of tea this morning. Old just English Tuesday.
Hey, listen, this is a terrific Tuesday. That's all we got. That's how we say it in Texas.
I think it's Tuesday, and the Middle English Tuesday, meaning Tuesday, T-I-W. Two was the Norse god of single combat, victory, and heroic glory. Those Norse gods are so cool. Now, there's a little opinion there from the fact. Look, that's an opinion, okay? This website, Josh, is called The Fact Site, and that was an opinion there at the end. That last sentence was an opinion. I'm going to write the fake news this morning out of The Fact Site.
Oh, gosh. Fake news, boy. I tell you, we have heard more about that over the last 3 or 4 years, haven't we? But we're starting to see that it is really real, and it's really sad because it gets so many people so fired up and so discouraged and don't know what to believe. And I just wish we could all go back to just listen. Here's the truth. Here's what's going on. Let's get together. Let's battle together. Let's fight together. But man, it just pulls us in so many different pieces and places. And oh gosh, I wish we could have a media that just tells us the truth.
Can we just build a bridge of love between us? One stone of hope at a time. Let's span the seas that come between us. Come on, Josh.
I don't know it, I would.
You know what I'm singing, though.
I love a good karaoke. But listen, you know what I know about one radio station, the HIP radio network. You will always hear the truth.
We're always going to build a bridge of love, baby. Build a bridge of love.
Building the bridge of love.
Fact number 2 about 2. I got a bunch of them. I'm not going to read through all of them because we could literally go until probably 10 a.m. Unsurprisingly, Tew, T-I-W, the way it is, Tew, is associated with the Roman god of war.
Rob, I do not think you're saying that. I don't think
Tew. I'm trying, man. It's associated with the Roman god of war. I never got into all that mythological stuff, but some people do. I didn't. We studied it in school. That was the most boringest part of school for me. I've never been into that stuff.
Rob, is that a word?
What?
No, boringness.
Is that what I said? Boringest? Yeah.
Yeah, it's the most boring. I just love it, Rob.
It's the most boringest thing I've ever studied in school.
Rob, every time I'm on the radio with you or get to hang out with you, my vocabulary increases exponentially.
I think it decreases.
It's just a blessing. Boringness.
Yes. It's associated with the Roman god of war, Mars. That's why I said earlier, Tuesday associated with Mars. You remember that. This is why Tuesday contains a reference to Mars in other languages derived from Latin, like Mardi and French. Oh, is that why Mardi Gras? Is that on Tuesday?
That is. Well, the biggest day is called Fat Tuesday, and so that's probably where that comes from.
So Mardi in French, Martes, I love that, Martes in Spanish. And Marteri in Italian. Marteri, hey, Marteri, what's up, buddy? Marteri. We got the money, Marteri. That's worth two. Okay, that's cool. Third fact here. I'm not even.
I love that you tickle yourself, man. That's be your own best friend, Rob.
Marteri.
Be your own best friend.
You're my new Marteri, buddy.
Yes,
Marteri.
Spaghetti.
There was a Italian restaurant. This is so funny, man. There was an Italian restaurant in Round Rock. I used to have a Click store back when I owned Click Computers. We had two locations at one point. One of them was on South Maze in Round Rock. And there's an Italian restaurant over there. I think it's called Gino's over there off Maze. Went in there one time, and I thought it was like something out of The Godfather, man. Went in there. There was in the back wall. There was like this like one of those triangle-shaped lights, the big light hanging over the table, but it was lower than the guy. It seemed like it was lower than like the guys. So everything from like his neck down was lit up, but you couldn't see his face. And I was like, there's some sort of dealing going on over here on this back wall, man. I thought it was The Godfather, dude. Marteri.
Was the food good, though?
It was great food.
Good food.
It was
great food, authentic. Yeah, there's a place over here in Killeen called Little Italy, and we've been going there for years. And it is authentic and real. And you go in there and you just feel that Italian feel to it. It's all family owned, so it's all just the family there. And boy, it is good food over there.
Marteri. That's going to be the word of the day, Marteri. However, in Japanese, the word for Tuesday, don't even get me on this. Now it's Japanese. I've got several friends who can speak Japanese, and I'm amazed. That is a very difficult language, Japanese, Chinese. The word for Tuesday, Kayobi, means fire day in relation to Mars, the planet, Kasai, meaning fire star. In some Slavic languages, Tuesday originates from an old church Slavonic word literally meaning the second. I love the history of words.
Yeah, I could see you. That's been a focus of yours in 2020 on a lot of your broadcasts, is kind of focusing on words and meanings of things and so forth. And that's good, man.
It's Marteri.
Yeah, it's Marteri.
Marteri. Is that Mortetti? Like if you're a little baby, do you say Morteri, like more teddy bears? Morteri.
There we go. Oh, wow. You took it to a whole nother area. Bears. See how it is?
For many employees, okay, listen, if you're an employee, you better listen to this one. For many employees, Tuesday is apparently the most productive day of the work week. Tuesday. Here's something else, though. On the flip side, Tuesday is also, there we go.
Yep.
The time now is 6:30.
6:30.
Have you been at the airport, man, early in the morning and you hear that, bong, the time now is 5:30. You ever watch CNBC, the network?
I try. Well, you know what's crazy is I'll check into some of those other stations just to see what they're saying, and then I'll click over to Fox, which I think tries to tell us are closer to the truth, and then I'll kind of see compare and contrast between the other big three, and it's interesting to see the differences and the sway and so yeah, every once in a while I'll click in.
I'm wondering, let me see if this will play, and I'm always real careful about doing this because you never know what you're going to get on YouTube. Listen.
Is it like a box? Is it like a box of chocolates?
I don't even know what this is. Yeah, it is. It truly is. You never know what you're gonna get. Let's see here. That's not it. What I'm trying to do here is show you one of the best voices that I've ever heard in my life as far as voiceovers. And I just don't.
I'll tell you what, Rob, and I know people are going to be like, "Golly, Joshua,
CNBC.
you have a very good voiceover voice, man. God has just gifted you with an incredible radio broadcasting voice. Thank goodness, because the face, I don't know, but the voice, yes.
Come on, man.
Especially with that hair, man. Come on, let me give you a haircut.
I need to get a hair. I cannot find it, Josh. I cannot. Maybe it's here. Let's see if this is it. Hold on. There's a program where there's a program on CNBC that I listen to a lot. I watch it a lot. I love it. It's called American Greed. And the guy's voice name is Stacy Keach. If you get a chance, look him up. Stacy Keach. Let's see.
Cast presented by CNBC.
Here it is. Listen to this guy's voice. Listen to this guy's voice.
In this episode of American Greed.
911.
Oh, I love that guy's voice. Yes.
Americans are dying by overdose in record numbers.
Hey guys, listen to his voice, man.
A&E, he does a bunch of shows on A&E. I love it.
In Mobile, Alabama,
listen to that guy.
Patrick Couch and Shulu Ron are serving up heavy doses of the dangerous drugs.
Serving up
One
dangerous
drug they prescribed
doses.
is brand new, made by a multi-billion.
Serving up dangerous doses of the dangerous drug. Tonight on American Greed. I mean, I was watching.
If you've never watched that show, it's a great show of incredible stories of people's greed and chaos and deceit, and I mean, it's a good show.
Tonight on American Greed, a dangerous dose of the dangerous drug. I don't even want to pretend. That guy's just all, and that's how he normally talks.
Oh, he's incredible. He really does have a great build it up, catch your eye, catch your ear, kind of wanting you to, just hang on every word he says.
Tonight on Martetti.
No, come on. You got Italians all over this county right now, just rolling their eyeballs.
Martetti. Love it, man. Love it. I just love it. I like I love that word. All right, okay, so on the flip side, Tuesday also the day where the highest number of job applications are submitted. Tuesday is the day of the week least likely to have a Christmas Eve on it. I did not think about that. Tuesday, the day least likely to have a Christmas Eve.
Wow.
But here's what's weird. On the flip side, it's the day of the week that has the second highest chance of having Christmas Day on it. The first is Thursday. Pretty cool.
Interesting.
Spanish-speaking parts of the world also find Tuesday to be an unlucky day. I'm not sure why that is. That just states, it doesn't say why. But here and then for both Greek and Spanish-speaking people, like the 13th day of a month is considered unlucky if it falls on a Tuesday rather than a Friday.
Well, we've heard the 13th, of course, for whatever reason. The number 13, not just Friday the 13th, has always been kind of had a stigma attached to it,
Yeah, and this is so cool because in different cultures, it's different things. So in Judaism, Tuesday is considered to be a lucky day because in the first chapter of Genesis, the paragraph about Tuesday has the words, "It was good" in it twice.
Okay. I didn't even know that was a Tuesday, so that must be, from the original text. But yeah, that I didn't know about.
Let's try to do a Stacy Keach voice on this.
Oh, here we go.
According to a study conducted in America, Californian people are less likely to barbecue on a Tuesday than any other day of the week.
Oh, goodness.
Tonight.
We're having too much fun.
Tonight in California, it's Tuesday, and Californians will not barbecue.
So what in the world are you talking
It says right here, people in California are less likely to barbecue on a Tuesday. Who comes up with this stuff?
I mean, that could be anywhere. I mean, who really has time to barbecue on a Tuesday except for maybe throwing a couple pieces of chicken after work out on the grill? I mean, barbecues are going to happen on a Friday, a Saturday, or a Sunday. I could see how Tuesday wouldn't be a big barbecue day.
If you're from California, I got a lot of friends from California. If you're from California, why? I mean, that is the most ridiculous. That is not a fact. That's just an opinion.
That's got to be, if anyone from California, and I love California, I'm actually taking my daughter to she wants to go and see Hollywood, and hopefully if things open back up, down that for our dad-daughter trip this summer. And but I love California. Been to San Diego, and it's so beautiful. If you know anything about the whole Tuesday and barbecue, I'd love to hear from you on that.
Please let us know on Tuesday the discrepancy of barbecuing in California. That's just somebody making up stuff. One more here. I'm going to do one more here. And I'm looking. There's a bunch of them. A little bit of history here. The 29th of October, 1929. What was that Tuesday, Josh?
Give that date again.
October the 29th, 1929.
1929, October 29th was an important day. Can you give me the country?
It was here in the United States.
Here in the USA.
It was an event that started something pretty devastating for a lot of folks. Not to be negative, but it was financially devastating for many, 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 many people.
Was it the Depression, the Great Depression? It
was. It was the one of the world's most infamous Tuesdays, known as Black Tuesday. This is the day of the Great Stock Market Crash, the event which catalyzed the Great Depression and the run up to World War II.
Boy, I tell you, they're still feeling the effects of a lot of that. You talk to people that been around or were closer to that time, and it was, we're looking real close at what all this is going to look like for us. I think we've got a president who will do everything he can to get us back into a good place financially, and it already looks like things are starting to turn around a little bit. But you're talking about the new number that I heard yesterday was 40 million people unemployed right now that weren't before the coronavirus kicked us in the behind. And so that's very interesting to see what's going to happen in the days ahead.
Yeah, I just can't even.
That's a lot of people, Rob, that weren't unemployed 2 months ago. 40 million.
Well, I applied to two different – I think I talked about this yesterday. I applied to two different banks for PPP loans and was denied on both of them. And we'll just see what happens. That's why I've been working hard, man. It's –
Can you talk about what the reason was of why you were denied? Are they giving you any kind of
Yeah, one of them, Josh, said that I didn't turn in everything that was required, even though I went through the checklist and checked it off. And when I sent in all the documents, it was on the front cover because it was like a fax type deal, but you emailed it through a secure system. And I checked off everything. And instead of them saying, oh, you need to send in this, they just said, oh, you failed to submit all required information. We've canceled the application. How many times have you went in? What if you went in to buy a car? Josh, think about this. What if you went in to buy a car and let's say that you forgot one little piece of information? Do you think that car dealer is going to pull that loan application off the table, say, sorry, we canceled your – no, they're not. Of course not.
Let me tell you something. They're going to fill the paperwork out for you.
Yeah, no joke. They're going to fill it out for you, baby.
Yeah.
We want to
that's
sell
interesting.
that car.
I've heard different interviews and different things over the last couple of weeks. Lots of people are saying that, yeah, some of it's flying right through, but some of it it's extremely hard, and it's the bells and whistles that they're having to jump through, and all those kind of things are making it very hard to get this help and this funding. And so you're a walking example of that, of two now that have fallen through for you. And I know you need those resources.
I mean, it wouldn't have been much, but it would have been something. And the thing is, they didn't open it up. This is, look, I don't want to get on this tangent, but I'm just going to say, for the most part, small business owners in this country get hosed. They really, really do. And I'm not complaining or whining. I'm just straight up telling you right now this morning that small business owners get hosed. Right now. They get hosed day in and day out. Perfect example. With my sports broadcasting company, Josh, I know a lot of guys in the broadcasting industry that it's not deliberate, but I know the tax code. My accountants told me. I'm not an expert at accounting, but I know that in the eyes of the IRS, if you provide equipment to somebody, so I'm supplying the equipment, if I'm training you and I'm telling you where to go and what time to be there, in the eyes of the IRS, that is not a contractor. You cannot 1099 people. That is why, with my sports broadcasting company, I W-2 my employees. because in the eyes of the IRS, I am providing equipment, I am training you, and I'm telling you where to go and what time to be there. And I've checked it with the state. They were like, no, you cannot 1099 those people. I know of I could easily name 5 companies off the top of my hand right now that are in the same business of me, and they 1099 their employees.
We 1099 every one of ours because we consider them, all of our guys that work for us, we consider them subcontracted, ministry, nonprofit workers.
Yeah, yours a different situation. It's a different, but I know of the 5 other companies in my industry, in the broadcasting industry, that do that. And I've confirmed this with the state. And so we do everything by the book, as much by the book as you possibly can.
Sure.
And here's the deal. We get hosed on that because even though, and look, if you need help, go file unemployment. Go do it. I'm not discouraging you from it. The problem is a lot of folks that do that, they think that that's free money that magically rains down from the government. And that is the most false thing you can ever think, because when you, and I'm not discouraging you from filing unemployment. You need unemployment, go file unemployment. But let me tell you the reality of it. The reality is that even in my sports broadcasting business, Josh, where I've got extremely seasonal part-time people working, as you know, the deal is if you go file unemployment, I still have to pay part of that unemployment, even though you're extremely part-time. So, of course, with this whole pandemic, we've received numerous letters that, our rates going up now because of unemployment claims. So, typically, an unemployment, I pay like point. Hey, do you mind turning down? I'm getting a little bit of back feed for some. I'm not sure if that's coming off your phone. Like when I talk, I hear myself coming back.
Let me see, because I don't have it up at all.
I want to make sure you can still hear me, of course.
Yeah, I can hear you. Hang on.
Is
that better?
Let's see. Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's a million times better. There we go. Can you still hear me? Let's see if that's it. Yeah,
yes.
Yeah, that's perfect.
Is that better?
Let's test it here. Yeah, that's a little bit better. Yeah, thank you. So here's the deal, and I'm not going on a rant here. I just want people to understand this and how it works. So typically my rate is like 0.46%. Okay, so if you say 0.46%, what are you talking about? Well, we have to pay a rate per employee of unemployment as a business owner, as any business owner in the state of Texas, and I'm sure it's that way in other states. So if I pay you $100, I'm paying like, what is that, 46 cents out of $100? I'm bad at math, but what is 0.46? That's point.
You're right in there. 50. Let's just say 50 cents, round it up.
Yeah, so times 100. I'm really bad at math. So, yeah, it's like 50 cents. Okay, you go file unemployment, and all of a sudden, as a business owner, my rate now goes from 0.46% because I'm paying into the unemployment system. Any business pays into it on employees, on W-2 employees. But now if there's an unemployment claim, that rate, Joshua, can skyrocket as high as, I believe, 7.2%. So now that means instead of paying 50 cents per $100, now I'm paying, what is that, $7? $7 per 100.
Yeah, okay. Wow.
That's a huge difference. And it's up until a certain rate. So it's up, I think it's up until like $7,000, and after that you don't have to pay it anymore. The reason I'm telling you this is it's not free money that rains down from the government. I really want people to listen to this. It is money that businesses have to pay back into the system. There is not enough incentive, and I love our country, okay? But I don't feel that there is enough incentive for small businesses to thrive when there are pandemics and situations such as this. And so now, and I don't think they're going to change the law, so now, as a small business owner who's getting denied for loans to help me out, I'm having to pay into the unemployment system that I can get zero benefit from, which is ridiculous. So it almost makes you want to, and I'll talk about it later. We're really excited. I've just acquired something great, and we're going to talk about that and announce that here in the next day or so. But look, I'm entrepreneur-minded, Josh. I want to continue to build things and grow things. But when we have a system that doesn't benefit small businesses, it just makes you wake up sometimes. You're like, why am I doing that? Why don't I just go work for somebody else? The system hoses the small business owners, and it's just, I don't get it. And that's why A lot of times when I see things politically, I have a whole different viewpoint on it than somebody that has never owned a business because they have never written a paycheck to somebody. They don't know what that feeling, and I'm not putting you down. I'm just saying you have no clue because you've never been in that situation. A lot of our politicians on both sides, everywhere, they've never written a paycheck to anybody. They got elected into an office because they're popular. They're smart. A lot of them are really smart, let's be honest, but they're also popular. And it's just, I don't know what's going to happen, Josh. All I know is I'm going to keep working. I'm going to continue doing what I'm supposed to do. I'm going to continue paying my taxes. I'm going to continue getting these ridiculous tax rates that I have to be brought into. But you know what? Through all of that, and I'm not whining or complaining, I wouldn't change it because I love what I do.
No, I know
every day.
you're not. And I think you're going to see a big increase in lots of things right now, and then you're going to see it smooth back off because you got to remember the system is so clogged right now with unemployment requests. And it's shutting everything down. So, of course, they're having to pay out a lot more, and so you're going to pay more. But I get it. And in a smaller business, it could be devastating for your bottom line.
Yeah, and I understand why large corporations also get upset at those kind of things because think about everybody's like, oh, these large corporations bring in millions and millions and billions of dollars. Well, they do it because they've worked hard to get where they're at.
Number one. Number two, they're paying out a lot, though, as well. People don't realize.
They are paying a ton. And I think just as much as a small business owner should get tax breaks, I think the large corporations deserve them as well because they have built their businesses up. And look, if they're a monopoly, that's a whole different story. But they pay more into the system than anybody can even imagine. And this money does not just magically get printed from the government. It has an economic impact. And I don't understand economics that great, but I know enough that the government can't just go onto a printer, Josh, and start flooding out a ton of money. Like there's some people upset because there's a new bill that someone wants to pass that's going to give people $2,000 a month for like the next 6 months. Now, how is that money ever going to be repaid? I understand that people need help, but we're talking about $12,000 per person in the U.S. That money, how is that ever going to get repaid? And what's going to happen when you have that kind of money pushing into an economy, into a system, naturally the price of everything is going to go up. It's like in some countries where you can have $1 billion of their currency, whatever that may be. Think about this. In some countries, you could literally have $1 billion of their currency. 1 billion pieces of that currency. You could have a paper note that's $1 billion of whatever their currency is in that country. But in the United States, that may only be worth $1 or $2. Because it's so inflated in those countries because they have pushed so much into it, and there's been no governance that's really known what they are doing. So I will say, for the most part, we're doing a pretty good job here in the United States with how we manage those kind of things. That's my opinion.
You think about the number that they're requesting now to get these big packages for the country to help people. I mean, you can't even fathom what $1 trillion looks like. Or even is. And we've got a president who's saying, hey, our dollar is so strong that this is the best time for this to happen because the money that we are borrowing or whatever it looks like is interest free and all these kind of things. So he's put us in, I don't think anybody could have put us in a better position to be doing what we're having to do in this money time of trying to keep the infrastructure going and keep people fed and all those kind of things. We couldn't have a better president to put us in that position because he's got our dollar so strong. And I don't know how any of that all works. Yeah. I just praise God that I get to help people in recovery every day. Yeah. But I think maybe that might be a good, maybe you request right now for somebody to come on and be on one of the shows with you that can help us understand kind of how all this thing works and what this looks like over the next couple of years as we try to pay back or recoup or however it's going to look on our taxes and on your fees and all those kind of things. That's a great guest to have on, man, because we are in an economic crisis again right now.
I'm going to send,
like they say, the country hasn't ever seen in our generation. Yeah. So it'll be interesting. Maybe you have somebody come on and help us understand it all.
I'm going to send a letter to 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue there in Washington, D.C. Hey, can you come talk to us?
Come on.
That's not that.
Can you come on down here and get the rest
that
of it?
Wouldn't happen.
Because I'm paying $7. $7 on my
7% on my $7 on my
7% on my dollar, and it just a guy like you can really hurt. I get it, Rob, and I understand your frustration.
It adds up, and in fact, on our broadcasting end, I've canceled all of our data because we still have to pay for data each month. So we've had to literally just slash that's been the toughest for me. I'll be honest. We've been blessed here at HRN. We have continued to grow because I love promoting businesses. And I think right now, and I know it's cliche to say this, it really is right now the best opportunity to advertise, because now that things are starting to reopen, that's coming up at 25% capacity for a lot. There's hair salons out there that they're not allowed to open yet. And I don't get that. And that really frustrates me, because I know a lot of people in the salon industry. That really frustrates me, that a restaurant can be open. And I'm not knocking any of you restaurant owners. I love you guys. I support you 100%. But it frustrates me that a restaurant can be open, but a hair salon cannot be open. It frustrates me that a movie theater can be open, but a hair salon cannot be open during this reopen process. And if I'm wrong on any of that information, let me know, because I don't want to mislead information here. But that's what I understand from what I've read, is that
I hadn't heard about restaurants starting to be open to the public, but I had heard about the movie theaters on a limited kind of seating spacing and things like that. So did we get a report from Abbott yesterday?
Yeah, let me read this really quick. It's 6:55 now. We're going to bring on Rob Kitty and Michael Price around the 7 a.m. hour. Thanks for joining. By the way, it's Good Morning Georgetown here on HRN, Hip Radio Network, Georgetown's hometown radio station, KHGT-DB. We're joined, as always, on Tuesdays by Joshua Harris of the Oak Ridge Disciple House. The Oak Ridge Disciple House, by the way, a faith-based Christian character building ministry, a 501c3 nonprofit, helping men 18 and older who are suffering from drug and alcohol addiction. If you or someone you know needs help, there's light at the end of the tunnel, and that help can be found, and that light can be found through the Oak Ridge Disciple House. Check them out online, oakridgedisciplehouse.com. Appreciate you being here this morning, Josh, for those just joining us.
Yeah, you bet. Can I just say that we are, too, starting to reopen a little bit. We're inviting our teachers. We have teachers that come out every day and teach these men different aspects of the word, but also in recovery and just encouraging them. We want a different touch every day from somebody, including James Chapman. He's our Wednesday morning guy. And so, but anyway, we're going to start bringing them back out starting in May. And then also we've got lots of beds open right now, because during this we weren't accepting any new ones. We graduated some, asked a couple to leave. It wasn't a good fit at that for us at this time. And so I've actually got 6 beds open, and we've got one coming on Thursday that's just going to take a look, and we're praying about him. But I've got 5 beds for sure that are open. And so if you know somebody and they've been safe and they won't put us at risk for this COVID-19, please give us a call, 512-905-2111. But please, I'm begging you to just only call us if they're serious and they're willing to do whatever it takes. Like Rob likes to say, we're not looking to just get somebody in recovery. We're looking to transform their heart and the rest of their life. We're opening back up here coming up in May, and we're excited, Rob, to see who God is going to bring for these 5 beds that we have open.
And they're going to get filled. They always do, man. And I've always said that it's not a transformation I was trying to think of it the other day in the way that I had said it. But look, you're not going to see change in your life if there's a transformation of the mind. There has got to be a transformation of the heart. That is always
we call it a heart transplant. Yep. What we want to do is we want to spend the first 3 months ripping that old heart out, getting all that root out of there, showing you how to deal with because using drugs and drinking to excess and all those things, that's not the problem. The problem is why you're doing it, and there's deep-seated stuff. And so we want to start to really dig that out, dig that old heart out of there, and then we want to put a new one in, God doing it in and through us. And then not only putting the new heart in, but showing each man how to use it and how to take care of it and how to nurture it. Because if you get a heart transplant in the world, let's say medically you get a heart transplant, and then the doctor comes in and says, okay, you're good to go. You've got this good heart. Go just live however you want. That heart's going to get the same disgusting nastiness, disease that it had before. But if you teach a man or a woman or anyone how to use that new heart and take care of it and nurture it, then you've got great success with that. And that's why we see, by God's grace and his provision, 85% of our men that have come through have victories today over the last 10 years, and it's amazing.
That's awesome, man. Appreciate all that you guys do, Josh, there. Again, oakridgedisciplehouse.com. Real quick, almost approaching that's almost at 7 a.m. hour. I wanted to read this real quick. This was yesterday from Governor Abbott. His release, this was phase 1 to open Texas. Now, I'm not going to read through the whole thing because it's pretty long, but this is establishing statewide minimum standard health protocols here in the state of Texas Governor Abbott yesterday announcing the first phase of the state of Texas' ongoing plan to safely and strategically open Texas while minimizing the spread of COVID-19. Under Phase 1, certain services and activities are allowed to open with limited occupancy. And the Texas Department of State of Health Services issuing minimum standard health protocols for all businesses and individuals to follow. The governor also outlined special guidance for Texans over 65 and a detailed comprehensive mitigation. I mean, this is like lawyer talk. And a detailed comprehensive mitigation plan. Just say they've developed a plan for nursing homes in Texas. The governor also announced a statewide testing and tracing program developed by the Department of State Health Services that will help public health officials quickly identify and test Texans who contract COVID-19 and mitigate further spread of the virus. Governor announcement also accompanied by the Texans Helping Texans, a governor's report to Open Texas. This detailed report available on their website helps Texans understand Phase 1 by outlining new protocols, guidance, and recommendations. The report also includes a series of Open Texas checklists that outline the DSHS's minimum standard health protocols for Texans. By way of executive order, I'm skipping some of it here because there's a lot. By way of executive order GA-18, all retail stores, restaurants, movie theaters, and malls are permitted to reopen on Friday, May the 1st. These services must limit their capacity to 25% of their listed occupancy, with shopping malls, the food court dining areas, play areas, and interactive displays and settings must remain closed. All museums and libraries may open under the same 25% occupancy limitation, but interactive areas of museums must remain closed. State libraries and museums will be open May 1st. All local public museums and libraries may reopen only if permitted by local government. Single-person offices may reopen as well. Churches and places of worship remain open. I guess that churches have been allowed to stay open. It's just none of them are doing it, which is a good thing, in my opinion, right now. A lot of them, of course, virtual. Outdoor sports are allowed to resume so long as no more than 4 outdoor sports. Hope Michael Price there. Let me click off of Michael real quick. Hold on one second here. Michael's joining us. We'll have him on here in just a minute. Let me pop this. Michael, we'll bring you on here in just a minute, brother.
Good morning, Michael.
We'll have him on here in just a minute. Let me finish this here. Where was this? Let's see. Music, permitted by local government. Okay, churches and places of worship will remain open. Outdoor sports are allowed to resume. Check this out. Outdoor sports are allowed to resume so long as no more than 4 participants are playing together at one time. A little 2-on-2 football going on.
Interesting.
Certain social distancing practices must also be followed. Never mind. Football's gone, I guess. Local government operations, including county municipal government operations related to permitting, recoordination, document filing services, may reopen as determined by the local government. So essential services such as, and there's just a couple more here, farmers and ranchers, grocery and drug stores, banks, gas stations will continue to operate. Public swimming pools, bars, gyms, cosmetology salons, there it is, massage establishments, interactive amusement museums such as bowling alleys and video arcades, and tattoo and piercing studios will remain closed through Phase 1. I understand. People got to get haircuts, man. Give these barbers and these women that are in cosmet, give them a break. That is, I feel extremely safe when I get a haircut. I really do. I feel safe when I'm getting a haircut. Just, if we can keep all these other places open, can we please allow the salons to open up so they can get back to business, please?
Well, I know this. It is really hurting them. The lady that's been cutting my hair for, I guess, 5 years now, she's a single mom, and this is really, really hurting her. I mean, she's at a place where she's getting to a place where she doesn't even know how she's going to pay her bills anymore, so even with the help they're getting. So, I agree with you, but also, understanding, I'm thinking about this. There's the 8 o'clock or the 7 o'clock hour, Rob. But, the 25%, I know anything is better than nothing, but 25% of a lot of these businesses, well, that's going to really still continue to hurt, the capacity at 25%.
Nursing homes, state-supported living centers, and assisted living facilities and long-term care facilities must remain closed. I think that is good, though. My dad is in a nursing facility in Temple. Dad, I saw you on earlier. Love you, Dad. I hope everything is going great, and I miss you. We're going to step aside and take a break. We got Michael Price joining us coming up. We'll step aside for our top of the hour news and more. It's Good Morning Georgetown right here on Hip Radio Network Georgetown. It's Georgetown's hometown station. Stay with us, friends. We will be back here in just a few moments. Don't go anywhere. Good Morning Georgetown continues here on HRN.
Be right back.
USA Radio News with Chris Barnes.
President Trump's denying reports that Health Secretary Alex Azar is on his way out of that job. On Twitter yesterday, the president called it fake news and said the media wants to create chaos and havoc in the minds of Americans, assuring followers that Azar is doing, quote, an excellent job. The reports had claimed the White House was planning to oust him because of criticism of the early response to the coronavirus outbreak. Treasury Secretary Steve Mnuchin is looking for the U.S. economy to rebound this summer.
I think as we begin to reopen the economy in May and June, you're going to see the economy really bounce back in July, August, September.
He spoke on Fox News Sunday. In Georgia, with the virus slowing down, the governor is allowing restaurants to reopen their dining areas today as long as they adhere to many guidelines. And this is USA Radio News.
Balance of nature. Changing the world, one life at a time.
I've had a lot of really great days back to back, which has been a huge blessing. Even my doctor told me, because they asked me to bring everything in that I take on a daily basis. He was very encouraged by seeing what I was taking, and he said he didn't care how many I had. You know, he said it's food. And the form that it's in was something that he was very, because he's an avid learner, and he's always researching, and he's always excited to see new things. And he told me this would be good. This will help you immensely with the nutrition that you need.
Experience the Balance of Nature difference for yourself. Right now, Balance of Nature is offering free shipping and 35% off on any new preferred order. Start your journey to better health today by calling 1-800-2468-751 or by going to balanceofnature.com, and make sure to receive this special radio offer by using discount code USA.
Police in Baton Rouge, Louisiana say they're mourning the death of one of their own after a shooting as officers were searching for a murder suspect yesterday.
As a result of the shooting, we lost a 21-year veteran, the Baton Rouge Police Department.
That's the chief, who says a second officer is wounded and still fighting for his life. The suspect did surrender after a 4-hour standoff during which they say he fired more shots at officers. British Prime Minister Boris Johnson says he's ready to get back to work after recovering from COVID-19. The 55-year-old returning to number 10 Downing Street yesterday after spending 2 weeks at his country residence. The White House says President Trump spoke with him by phone a couple of days ago, and the two agreed to work together to combat the global coronavirus pandemic. Wall Street futures up at this hour as oil prices do continue to fall. Dow futures up over 100 points. This is USA Radio News.
Broadcasting worldwide from the Ashby Real Estate Broadcast Studio. This is Hip Radio Network, Georgetown, your hometown station. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The switch is on. Welcome to Good Morning Georgetown with Rob and Ken. Waking you up in the mornings and getting your day started with the hottest hits, news, and jokes. Get ready. And now here's your hosts, Rob Hip and Ken Covington.
708 is the time. I just wanted to say that. I don't know why. I woke up this morning, felt like saying random things as I do every morning here on Good Morning Georgetown, and just wanted to say 708. Good morning, Georgetown. Hope you're doing okay today. By the way, if you're just joining us, you're wondering, hey, what are you talking about, 708? Well, we step back an hour. The show now goes every weekday, Monday through Friday, from 6 to 8 a.m., and that gives us a little bit more time, especially folks that are on their way to work can join us now, and I think it's working out really well for a lot of folks. A couple of people said, man, that hour back is kind of hurting me. But a lot more people have said, hey, I really like this better, especially once we get back to work where everybody's traveling again. Hey, but join now. We had him on just a couple of weeks ago, and now back with us with the new project coming up soon. We'll talk about that in a minute, though. But Mr. Michael Price of the Georgetown Beard Club, what is going on, Big Mike?
Well, I'm in the mobile office today. It's Tuesday, and so I'm doing my usual day job.
Well, hey, man, how are you doing, man? How's everything going?
You know, it's going well. Construction continues. People are still out working. We are taking safety precautions on job sites, but by and large, you know, we haven't really slowed down much. Even our, sales are still moving as well.
Awesome, man. Well, I know that things have been, steady for a lot of folks. Some folks not so steady, but I know for your industry, things have been good, and I know that you guys are very humble and thankful for that as you continue to work hard there and the housing business and those things are still continuing. People are still buying homes. They're not stopping buying houses. People still got to live. And in fact, a friend of mine just closed on a house just a couple of days ago, and I told him congratulations. It was exciting seeing that. So how's things going with the Beard Club, man?
We have been meeting regularly via Zoom. Some of the guys really need haircuts too. Luckily I'm blessed. I take care of my own. But by and large, we're still struggling to get through this with everyone else. And how can we help our neighbors?
For sure. Well,
and that's at the end of the day, we got furry faces, but we want to serve.
That's right, man. And I don't think there's any better opportunity than right now to serve with people needing help. You guys have been doing fantastic work, and you've got a new thing that you're launching. Can we talk about that this morning? That's why we had you on, and I definitely want to hear about this. I think it is tremendous what you guys are doing.
Absolutely. And I believe you actually have the logo that we had sent you a little while back. But after we did your show a couple of weeks ago, we had another meeting, and we were really struggling with. We're actually feeling rather helpless because it was so far beyond. How can we help? And instead of looking at the little things, we were really looking at the big picture. And trying to help people financially right now is like trying to put a Band-Aid on a decapitation. But we did come up with something working with a couple of other groups. You had Julie Hobbs on a couple of weeks ago with Help Crisis. And I'm sure Rebecca and Bob over with Helping Hands of Georgetown. So what we decided to do was we came up with our own logo.
Love it, man.
If you could see that.
We got it perfect. Yes, sir.
All right. And Wilco Strong, and you're going to see a lot of strong stuff right now, but Wilco Strong. And what we are wanting to do is if you go to the GeorgetownBeardClub.com, go to our website, you can actually make a donation and purchase these signs. We'll come out and plant it in your yard. We're asking for on the minis. We bought some minis for businesses. Perfect to go in their windows. They also are great for, I put some suction cups on some, and I have them on the sides of my truck. But what we're trying to do is we're taking the profits from these sign sales and we're splitting them between Help Crisis, Julie's group, Helping Hands of Georgetown, and the Georgetown Beard Club. All the profits will be we'll obviously be flipping money around to purchase more product. Working on a deal with John right now to for him to provide our signs. I'm sure we'll get that taken care of this week, but we really want to see these signs popping up in people's yards so that we can they have something physical that ties each other together. We can also take those profits and help Helping Hands, Help Crisis, and the Georgetown Beard Club.
Well, I think it's phenomenal. You had messaged me, I think, right after you were on the show and said, hey, we're going to be working on something, and I know that you were holding out to announce that, and so we wanted to help you kind of bring that to the public attention here today. Again, it's Michael Price of the Georgetown Beard Club here, and I do have that logo. I'm about to pop it up on the screen. You just showed it to us, which is cool, and I've got it right here as well. And so one more time, there may be some folks that just joined us. Michael Price here again with the Georgetown Beard Club. They are working on a program here called Wilco Strong that they have put together, a sign that you can purchase. Talk a little bit more about that and just how they can purchase that sign, Michael.
they can obviously go. I mean, if you know us, you can contact any of the Georgetown Beard Club members, and we're pretty much out there social media wise as well. Or you can go to georgetownbeardclub.com, and there is a Wilco Strong campaign, and you can go and make a donation, purchase your sign. We're asking for $5 for the mini signs donation, $10 minimum on the large yard signs. We will come out, we will put them in your yard. You don't have to come pick them up or do anything. And again, all of the profits are going to be divided between 3 different charitable groups. And that's, really all we want to do is tie us all together as Williamson County, not just Georgetown. And so the other thing that we've decided to do is, because, we had this, this is our logo, but we want to let other people serve their communities as well. So if there are up to 3 charities in any of the other towns in Williamson County, I don't care if it's Cedar Park, Round Rock, Leander, Liberty Hill, Thrall, if they're a charity and they would like to use this logo, they are welcome to. And we will allow them to use this logo so that they can do the same thing and serve in their town. They can put it on t-shirts, they can put it on signs. And yes, we are working on t-shirts as well. But right now we have the signs and they are ready to go.
Awesome, man. Well, Michael, appreciate all that you guys do. I've made a really easy alias. Wilco Strong was already taken. I don't know where it goes. So I made an alias. It's tinyurl.com/Wilco TX Strong. Now it's Wilco Strong is the initiative, but tinyurl.com/Wilco TX Strong. That will take you right to the Beard Club section of their website. Of course, you can always go to Georgetown Beard Club directly, but you got to click on a link. So if you go to this tinyurl.com/Wilco TX Strong, that will take you right to the purchasing page there on their website. And I like putting together those quick aliases just for our audio listeners out there that may not be on Facebook. I've also published the direct link on our Facebook pages as well for those of you that are listening. Michael, awesome opportunity to get involved with the Beard Club, but then more importantly, you guys dispersing those funds and helping out organizations that have been affected by COVID-19. And we're honored to be able to help promote that and whatever we can do. Of course, we support you guys 100% and appreciate all that you do here in the Georgetown community, man. So keep up the good work on that. What else is cranking with the Beard Club, man? You guys are continuing to serve, continuing to rock and roll.
It's other than trying to get this thing launched, it's been relatively quiet. Normally, we get together at least once a week. We see each other so often. And it's been odd not having this group of guys to hang out with. Other than that, Andre and I, we still my wife and I, we still have our little Sunday message, even though, for the past few weeks, we've been having to do it from home. We finally got back out to the park last week, trying to, again, practice, social distancing, but there's a lot of people, there's a lot of need, and trying to keep people fed right now. That's a huge thing.
Well, Joshua Harris here with us from Oak Ridge Disciple House. Can Josh be a member? I'm going to bring Josh back on here. Can Josh be a member? He does not have a beard.
Absolutely, he can. Absolutely, he can. We are a group of guys that we appreciate our facial hair, and we take a lot of pride in it. But at the same time, if you're willing to serve and you have a servant's heart, that supersedes any, ability to grow facial hair. You've been doing a pretty good job of growing it in. It's starting to look a little lush there. I can appreciate that. My wife, I was growing it in the full, and then my wife decides when my beard gets cut. I have zero choice in it.
Oh man, Bridget wants me to cut mine.
It's too scratchy, it gets cut.
Yeah, Bridget wants me to get rid of mine. Honestly, I'm not being lazy. Well, I guess I am technically, because when I go to get a haircut, they usually cut my beard as well. I just always like them to trim that up for them. They always do a better job than me. So, well, Josh is here. Josh, I know that you may have a couple of questions there for Mr. Michael Price. We'll bring Josh back on.
Well, I don't know. Hey, Michael, good morning. And first, let me just say that I just am so blessed by the work that you guys do in the community and the feeding and so forth. But I wanted to ask you, I haven't shaved. This is 2 weeks for me. 2 weeks for me, and I'm just wondering if I could, if you think I could be a part of the club in some way with what I do have, just the dirt on your face look. Does that
absolutely.
Does that bring anything to the table? I really can't grow a beard. I've tried, I've done the No Shave November in the past, kind of honoring, the prostate cancer and those kinds of things. And it just doesn't work for me. I mean, it's ugly. I mean, you guys rock those things. And for me, it's just, it grows and then stops. And so I literally just look like Pigpen walking around. And so, I'm always blessed by you guys that do that. But man, bottom line is this: thank you for the work you're doing, the feeding and the community work, and that's what we do. Oak Ridge is just about serving others. We look at it this way. I have the hiccups. I'm sorry. You cannot keep it what you have and the blessings that you have if you don't give them away. And I watch you guys and I listen to you and your passion and your heart to just pour into others, man. And so thank you for what you do in the community. It's just, I consider, though we don't know each other personally and we are friends on Facebook and those kind of things, I encourage you, you encourage me. But I think we're all in partnership together if we want to make this community the best it can be. And I'm thankful for you.
Well, I can tell you that, we are friends on Facebook, and I'm sure you've enjoyed some of the weirder videos that the GBC puts out. We're actually working on a couple of those as well that, nice. Again, tie the community together.
That's right. And that's what it's all about. We're the laminin that holds this thing together. We're just going to keep seeking the Lord in all that we do. And I just enjoy you and Rob's connection as well, and listening to you guys when y'all are on. And so I'm just listening this morning, Rob. I don't really have any questions. I just like to listen to you guys kind of dialogue. I do need to get out of here at about 7:30, Rob. I just got a call that I've got to get on a conference, but I'm just going to listen to you guys play this thing out.
Awesome, Josh. Well, appreciate you being here as well. And Michael, all that you do is incredible, man. So one final opportunity. Just want to give you a couple of last words here before we let you go, Michael.
I'm going to actually embarrass you a little bit here, Rob.
Go for it, man.
Your Friday night dance parties have been so much fun for my family. It's I can tell you that my daughter's finally we had after the whole senior announcement last week, we had a bit of a meltdown in our house, but by and large, my kids have been down. They've been actively dancing. Obviously, Andre and I have a lot of fun. She's still, I can't find my unicorn onesie. It got hidden. I think my daughters have disposed of both my Captain Georgetown outfit and my unicorn onesie.
Yeah, we got to find that, man.
I'm telling you, I'm still laughing about the number of views on the unicorn dance.
Yeah, man, it's over 1,000. He's like 1,500, some crazy number like that, man.
Yeah, I was just like, sometimes trying to get our Sunday message out, we get like 100 views, 150 views, sometimes 60 views, depending on whether, the algorithms with Facebook. But you dance, a grown man dancing in a unicorn onesie gets 1,500. I'm like, wow.
So here's what'll happen. Your next Sunday message, find the unicorn, dress up in it, and there you go, man.
You know what? I've actually delivered a message, though, wearing a unicorn hat. And even my wife is just sitting there going, why do you do this? And I'm like, I am Christian. I'm very strong in my faith. I do try to practice a servant's heart, but at the same time, I want to have as much fun and find as much joy as I can while I'm doing it.
Yeah, for sure. Well, Michael.
Am I still on, Rob?
Yeah, you're there, Josh. Go ahead, man.
Yeah, Michael, listen, people, I don't know where it all started, that when you become a Christian, I mean, listen, I was a knucklehead for 34 years and I mean, destroying everything around me. And then when I gave my life to the Lord in 2005, I didn't change who I was as a person so much as in my personality. I changed the way I saw the sin and the destruction and the death in my life that I was causing for myself, my family. You're still you, Michael, and I love that. I love watching all the different things and the craziness. Don't ever stop being Michael Price. People think, you become a Christian, you have to become lemon-faced and walking around mad all the time and no fun anymore. I've had more fun, literal, real fun, joy in the last 15 years than I had ever in the manufactured, world of synthetic joy for 34. So, man, Michael, don't ever stop being the onesie unicorn, man.
That's it, man. Mike the onesie unicorn. I love it, Josh.
You know what, guys? It is fun. And again, Rob, thanks, man, for bringing some joy to our community. And those Friday night dance parties, I know they're a lot for you to arrange and put on and keep them going. But man, I just wanted to say thank you for that. You're doing not just these daily shows, but everything you're doing to keep our community held together, communicating with each other and loving on each other.
Man,
absolutely.
Well, I appreciate that, Mike. That's what it's about, man. And we have a group, Georgetown News and Events, where we're posting news and events and what's going on in the community. And we just want everything to be – look, I'm all for people talking and having freedom of speech and all that kind of stuff, but we also want to keep things to where they're positive. If we see any type of negative and those kind of things, I just remove that clutter because we don't need to be around that. There's plenty of other opportunities. If you've got, your opinions and whether you think they're positive or negative, look, there's plenty of other places to post that kind of stuff. We want to have an area on the internet, and I'm not knocking any other things or any other group, anything like that, of course, by any means, but we just want to have an area that people can be a part of, get information, and also maybe a little bit of uplifting and encouragement because I think we need that right now. There is so much room on the internet. If you want to complain, go for it. Just don't do it on our groups and on our pages.
Yeah, absolutely.
One of those others.
Let's be an encouragement to each other during a time that's very discouraging for many.
Yeah, so that's all we're trying to do. Well, Michael, I appreciate you, man. Thanks for being with us this morning, and we will continue to promote the Wilco Strong. Again, visit tinyurl.com/WilcoTXStrong. And that'll take you right to the Georgetown Beard Club page where you can purchase these signs, and it's georgetownbeardclub.com. Also, you can go there and click on the link as well. But while you're there, browse the website. They got a lot of things that you can find out about joining the club, charities that they support, their campaigns, all about them, the awesome work of the Georgetown Beard Club. Michael, we appreciate you, brother.
Thanks for having us, guys. Y'all have a great day.
Awesome. Again,
you too.
Michael Price joining us again. Appreciate you, Michael. Have a wonderful day, and I'm sure that we'll touch base again with Michael here before too long in the coming week or so, and kind of hear more about how that campaign is going. So we would love to have, of course, Michael back on the show. Josh, I know you said you've got to go here in just a little bit. We've still got about 5 minutes? Is that you still got about 5 minutes remaining?
Yeah, I've got to jump on an intervention call at 7:30. You just never know when these texts are going to come in. Say, hey, Mick, I've got this guy here right now. Can you talk to him? So I'm going to do that because that's my heart first and foremost. I love being on the radio with you. Hate to cut it short, but man, when God tells me to do something, I got to do it.
Yeah, for sure, man. Well, Josh, before we let you go, I know you got to go here in a minute. Just wanted to give you, I wanted to give you a couple of minutes here just to kind of wrap up today while you're here, just to share a little bit about your heart, man, and kind of what you're up to and how folks can connect with you as we always do here on HRN, man.
Hey, thank you so much. We want to just give God glory for continue to sustain us through this hard time. We are a 501c3 nonprofit, and we absolutely live and thrive off of the heart of the community and God's people. We don't accept any, we don't apply or accept any help from the state because then they want to kind of tell you how to do things in your recovery house. And so we just depend on God. But I'm going to tell you, Rob, every bill's paid. Every belly is full. We have a safe place for these guys to live. We've, got like I said, a group of 4 on the mountain right now as far as disciples in training because we've graduated some during this time. We have not accepted any new residents in 2 months. I've had to turn a lot of people away just because we couldn't bring them up onto the mountain as we kind of shut everything down and had sheltered in place. But we are opening back up, and we've got 6 beds open, actually 5 because one is promised. 5 beds open, so we're excited to see what God's going to do. Start to call us again if you've got someone 18 and up who's ready. And when I say ready, I don't mean for a 30-day quick fix or a Band-Aid because that's going to fall off as soon as they get wet. What we want to do is we want to talk to guys that say, show me how to have a heart transplant to where I change the way I see the bad in my life and start to see the good that God has planned for me. Because I tell you what, God has a plan. No matter what stage you're in, I don't care if you're 18 or 80, whatever days God's got left for you, they're awesome. And we want to show you what that looks like. And so we want to open that back up. 512-905-2111 is the phone number to call. 512-905-2111. 905-2111. Start to call us again. We're going to start talking to folks and on a case-by-case basis. We're going to continue to be safe and smart. Nobody, by the grace of God, on our mountain we call Oak Ridge has gotten sick. We've been protected. We've been smart. Staff has stayed smart. I've got an incredible staff, Rob. I want to shout out to Britt and Kevin and Wade and John, who have sustained us and been very patient, having to be locked down, not only where they work, but where they live, and just, keep these guys safe. So thank you to that team. And then, of course, all of our board of directors, the ministry partners. We have been sustained, but we are asking for you to look inside your heart. And if you've got extra, we need to refill our coffer up and have a couple of months of budget in there like we like to do, which has sustained us through this. Thank goodness we have a board that says, hey, let's make sure we keep enough in the bank for emergencies. And we've done that, and God has sustained us. We're starting to see things open up a little bit. Go to the website and check us out, www.oakridgedisciplehouse.com. And like I said, if you have somebody that's ready for true change and true transformation, not just for a minute, but for a lifetime, we're willing to help. And we also have avenues for women as well. I don't necessarily disciple women because, I'll be quite frank with you, I don't understand even the ones that are in my life now. But I do have places that we can send them for help as well, and that are starting to open back up as well. So, Rob, I love you. I thank you for all that you do, and it's going to be a terrific Tuesday because you've helped me get a great day started, and I thank you for that.
Appreciate it, and thanks for – I know you're always up really early in the morning, and so thanks for being able to be with us an hour earlier now from 6 a.m. on. So, Josh, God bless you, man. Have a great day, and as always, thanks for being on, buddy. We appreciate you.
You better believe it, and I'm going to go now and get the rest of it, Rob Hip.
All right, well, Joshua Harris of the Oak Ridge Disciple House, he is our Tuesday co-host here on HRN. I'll step aside and take a break. I'm going to break down a little bit more for you. May go off just a little bit early today, depending on the content that we've got. We've still got a lot of things to talk about. And, again, appreciate Josh being here this morning. We'll step aside, though, here for a quick break. When we come back, we'll talk more about what's going on here in the United States, as well as some local news and events. Stay with us, friends. This is Good Morning Georgetown right here on Hip Radio Network Georgetown. It's Georgetown's hometown station. We'll be back here in just a few moments.
Forecast from the Hip Radio Network Weather Center. Mainly sunny skies today with highs around 87. South winds 10 to 20 miles per hour. Cloudy tonight, lows around 69. Cloudy skies expected again tomorrow. Daytime highs approaching 88. Mid-80s Wednesday with a chance for scattered storms. Warmer Thursday with highs in the upper 80s. That's a look at your forecast. I'm meteorologist Paul Trombley. Currently, it's 63 degrees.
Broadcasting worldwide from the Ashby Real Estate Broadcast Studio. This is Hip Radio Network, Georgetown, your hometown station.
Every time I hear this little jingle, it just makes me wake up. Man, I really want to whistle. Just put on a smile, head outside, walk alongside a river. Listen to this, man. Just close your eyes and listen for a minute. If that doesn't put you in a good mood, I don't know what else we can do to put you in a good mood here this morning. Welcome back, friends. Time now 7:33 a.m. Thanks for waking up with us, Georgetown. As always, we appreciate you being a part of this show. And all that we want to do is bring you words of encouragement every morning here, waking up on a positive note, You know, I've been getting up pretty early. This morning I didn't get up till 5:15. I've been waking up around 4 now because we get the show started about an hour earlier. And so I just want to encourage you, be a part of the show from 6 a.m. to 8 a.m. every single weekday morning here, Monday through Friday, as we will bring you information related to Georgetown, some news across the nation, try to give you those words of encouragement, and also share some things that are going on, not just across the nation, but here in Georgetown, Texas as well. One of those things, and we're going to have her on Friday, Lady Eagle basketball head basketball coach Rhonda Farney from Georgetown High School is going to be joining us on Friday to talk about the Lady Eagles Hoops for Hope. Now, you may have seen these basketball signs around town. There's 33 of them that have been printed by Minuteman Press of Georgetown, 33 large basketball signs designed by the Lady Eagle basketball team. They have been placed throughout the entire community. Each team member decorated her sign with encouraging words and an uplifting message of hope. This was a release here that we're reading. We encourage everyone, especially families, to drive around Georgetown, locate the signs, snap a picture of each one, making sure not to give away the location, though. Our hope is that this activity will foster bonding and some friendly competition to provide hope and positivity during this time of uncertainty. It's also going to be a lot of fun. The basketball signs will be in public spaces throughout Georgetown, April the 25th through May the 9th. I just wanted to remind you to be safe and practice social distancing while looking for the signs. Be sure to share this event and invite your friends to participate. You can share your photos and tag Rhonda Farney on Facebook and Coach Farney on Twitter as well. You can also tag Ty and Crystal Gibson, Minuteman Press Georgetown. Eagle Fight never dies. That is really cool. I'm glad that they're doing that. And I wonder if they do a hashtag as well. That would have been an easy way also, just like hashtag Hoops for Hope. Not sure, but that's the instructions there, is to tag Coach Farney. Really cool opportunity for you to get out with your family, practice social distancing, but also just to kind of drive around and take some pictures here. And just, again, we talk about it so much. I talk about it so much on this show that we always want to talk about encouragement and hope. That is something in the community that is really tremendous that is going on. We talked to Nick Austin yesterday with her initiative, I Am Here. She has a nonprofit organization that helps empower women called We Are Not Broken, a beautiful organization that she has started to let women know that, hey, despite scars and despite things in your life, you are beautiful. Well, she started this initiative, hashtag I Am Here. If you're a woman entrepreneur, a female entrepreneur here in the Georgetown community, I highly encourage you to make a sign. It says hashtag I Am Here. Hold up that sign, and if you're at your business, hold up that sign and take a picture of you. Have someone take a picture. If you need to do it in a mirror, whatever you've got to do, take a picture of you holding that sign and put it on social media with the hashtag I Am Here. That'll be a great opportunity to promote your business as a female business owner here in the Georgetown community. And that is just incredible that Nick is doing that. We talked to her yesterday just about her initiative and what they are going to do. And her nonprofit, that's what it's designated as. It's designated as a nonprofit to help out women. And so that is another opportunity to get involved. There are so many opportunities across our community to get involved and to be a part of great things. Now, we talked the other day as well here on Good Morning Georgetown about some events that are taking place here in the community. Most everything, of course, has been virtual. I wanted to give the Palace Theater a special shout-out as well, as we read an article yesterday from the Williamson County Sun. And by the way, if you don't subscribe to the paper, do it. It's only $50 or $48, something like that, wilcosun.com. But the Palace Theater, streaming online, they will hold its live stream performance. The Palace plays on 7 o'clock on Thursday. So today's Tuesday, 2 more days away. The Palace plays on 7 p.m. on Thursday. It is their second live stream of show that will premiere on the Palace YouTube channel. Just go to YouTube, search for Palace Theater Georgetown. You will be able to find that incredibly easy, and you will be able to be a part of that show. We appreciate the Palace Theater. Tom McKay, one of our sponsors here on HRN with audio-visual consultations, is a big supporter of the Palace Theater as well, and he wanted us to make sure that we continue to talk about what they are doing also. Hey, on the back cover of the paper, and this was from Sunday's edition, so it was a couple of days ago, but really cool. The city is planning a mural for the animal shelter. This is the Artscape section of the paper by Ellen Greeny. Appreciate all that she does for the Georgetown area. The city wants to add smiles and color to an exterior wall at the Georgetown Animal Shelter. Now, many of you have seen the new Poppy mural that's on the side of Gus's Drug. Just simply beautiful. And I would like to have the folks that organize that, we could have them on the show to talk more about what they do sometime as well. And I wanted to encourage you, if you're a nonprofit, we don't allow every single nonprofit to be on this show. We go through a vetting process. We go through things that we want to make sure the community is very interested in hearing about. But if you're a nonprofit, reach out to us. We'd love an opportunity to at least get to chat with you and see if you'd be a great fit for our show, because we want to promote what you're doing in our community. Likewise, if you're someone who is involved in something that would be a great show, let us know. If you know of somebody who's involved in something, they don't have to be a nonprofit. Now, our sponsors that come on this show that talk about their businesses, that is reserved for our commercial sponsors. But perfect example, last week I had a good friend of mine, Jeff Mangum of Tornado Trackers on. He's a storm chaser here from Georgetown. He was able to talk about his storm chasing. We've had David Valdez on this show, who's the photographer for President Bush. We've had folks from the animal shelter on in the past. We've had many people on this show that are nonprofits, but also that have interesting stories behind them. If you know of someone who has an interesting story that they would like to share about this community, about Georgetown, about Williamson County, we would love for them to be part of this show. And our show spots usually fill up pretty quick, so we're always about a week or two out as far as our guests that we have on this show. But going back to this mural for the animal shelter, the Arts and Culture Board is seeking an artist to design and install a mural relating to the shelter's purpose to rescue and adopt pets. Again, this is from Ellen Greeny of the Williamson County Sun and the previous edition on April the 26th. The shelter's mission is serve our community, act with compassion. The vision of the shelter is to provide every pet that comes through the doors a second chance to live a long and happy life. Now, on the Hello Georgetown page, and by the way, if you don't like that page, stay up to date with all the great news that's going on in our community through Hello Georgetown as well. Make sure to like that page and keep up to date, again, with events that are going on. There was a post last night on the Hello Georgetown page that said, share a picture of your pet, of your furry buddy, I think is what it said. And there has been, I want to say there's been like 50 responses on that. And it's really cool to see everyone in the community and their pets. I think that's cool. I love looking at pets. The animal shelter does a great job. Go there and adopt. The application deadline, as they're looking for this artist, May the 31st, is open to all professional artists age 18 and older. The Arts and Culture Board will select up to 3 submissions for consideration, and the Georgetown Animal Shelter will make the final selection. The artist notification will be made mid-July, and the mural must be completed by September the 15th. The artist stipend is $4,000, and the city will fund the cost of materials and equipment necessary to install the mural. The selected artist will be responsible for their own travel costs, housing, and personal liability insurance. Wouldn't that be cool? I know we've got a lot of artists right here in the Georgetown community. Wouldn't that be cool if we could get an artist right here in Georgetown to paint that mural? I think that would be incredible. So I highly encourage you, if you get an opportunity, please support the Georgetown Animal Shelter and all that they do here in the Georgetown community. Just wonderful folks. And, again, hopefully things will get back here where we can get back into business very soon. Some things are opening. We talked about that just a little bit earlier. Some things are starting to open up, and we will continue to see how things rock and roll. Hey, I go through this every single show here on Good Morning Georgetown. Every day we try to have a different background. Today it's space. I love space. I'm wearing my NASA T-shirt. But I also every day like to talk about the National Day of. What is it the National Day of today? It's National Blueberry Pie Day. National Blueberry Pie. Oh, man. You take a blueberry pie and you put a little bit of ice cream on it, that's almost better than peach cobbler. Warm blueberry pie with ice cream. Today is also National Bravehearts Day. I'm not talking about the movie. This is something that is very serious. This is from nationaldaycalendar.com. National Bravehearts Day celebrated every year on the 28th of April, the bravery of families dealing with pediatric cancer. It also focuses on the bravery of children suffering from cancer and those who care so deeply. The observance today offers hope to families struggling with pediatric cancer through a phone app called Spotlight Hope. So I encourage you right now, if you have an Android or an Apple phone, most people do, one or the other, go to your app store or go to Google Play and search for Spotlight Hope. That is all one word, Spotlight, and then the next word, Hope. Spotlight is one word. Spotlight Hope. The app helps families plug into local resources during their time of pediatric cancer crisis. From financial help to rides to the doctor, the Spotlight Hope app provides information on how to connect to thousands of resources in the United States designed to help families navigate through pediatric cancer. I want to ask you this morning, has pediatric cancer impacted your life in some way? I've known several children that have been affected by this devastating disease. Download the free app. Again, it's called Spotlight Hope, and start connecting to a wonderful community dedicated to making the journey more bearable. How do you observe it? Well, one, download the app and spread the word about that app. It's Spotlight Hope. Use hashtag Spotlight Hope and hashtag National Bravehearts Day to post on social media. If you know a family dealing with pediatric cancer, suggest they download the app as well. No family should face cancer alone. This all started back in 2015. The Braveheart for Kids organization founded National Bravehearts Day for Kids. The Register at the National Day calendar proclaimed the day to be observed on April the 28th every year. Jeremy and Amy Jacobs founded Bravehearts for Kids in 2008 as their daughter Ava was diagnosed with a brain tumor at only 13 months old. Bravehearts for Kids helps save the lives of children. It provides information, hope, guidance, and resources to families dealing with childhood cancer crisis. They offer their services at no cost. Additionally, 100% of the individual contributions go to support programs. These programs also include emergency fundraising and one-on-one mentoring. The programs match families with a mentor who has experienced a similar diagnosis and crisis with a child of their own. Again, one final time, it's the Spotlight Hope app. You can get it on Android. You can get it on your iPhone. Search for that app, download it, and you can get involved and help out. Hey, for those of you that enjoy reading, especially poetry, I have a cousin who writes beautiful poems. I don't know how she does it. Literally, she could come up with 20 poems in an hour, and she is really, really awesome at it. Today is Great Poetry Reading Day. It's National Poetry Month here in the month of April. Today, though, marks the observance of Great National Poetry Reading Day. This day celebrates distinguished poetry and the notable poets who wrote them. This again from nationaldaycalendar.com. As an art form, poetry may predate literacy. Epic poetry appears to have been composed in poetic form to aid memorization and oral transmission in prehistoric and ancient societies. It is directly from folk songs that other types of poetry develop. With so many forms of poetry to choose from, no one is limited. For example, choose from, there's many. Sonnet, shy, I can't even read some of these. I know haiku, ghazal, all these different types. Now I'm starting to go back into junior high when we started studying all these things. There are also different genres of poetry, including narrative, epic, dramatic, satirical, lyric, elegy, verse fable, speculative poetry. Some of the well-known great poets include, of course, William Shakespeare, Edgar Allan Poe, Henry Longfellow, Robert Frost, Mark Twain, Emily Dickinson, and, of course, T.S. Eliot. So how do you observe today? Share a verse or two. Introduce the great poets to someone you know. Hey, if you're listening this morning, what is your favorite poem? I know some of you have read poems. Of course, we all have. Who is your favorite poet? What is your favorite poem? Let us know. Comment on the Facebook section. Send us a text message to the studio, 512-686-2030. Let us know your favorite poem. Really, really awesome day today. Share a verse or two today. That's how you observe it. Introduce great poets to someone you know. Why don't you settle back, relax, read your favorite poetry. Get on the internet and search. There's just hundreds and thousands of poems that you could go through. Couple more here today. It is Workers' Memorial Day today. Workers' Memorial Day. Encouraging national and international remembrance and action for workers killed, disabled, injured, or made unwell by their work. This day is also known as International Workers' Memorial Day or International Commemoration Day, ICD, for the dead and injured, or Day of Mourning. The slogan for the day is Remember the Dead, Fight for the Living. The day remembers workers killed in accidents at work or by diseases caused by work. Organizations around the world host events honoring workers lost work-related injuries or illnesses. Some organizations may hold campaigns and workplace awareness events. Other activities such as multi-faith religious services, laying wreaths, planting trees, and unveiling monuments raise public awareness of issues. One of the most moving is the setting of shoes to symbolize those who have passed away at work. Transportation causes more workplace deaths than any other occupation. Again, this reading from nationaldaycalendar.com. Go check them out. The next 4 most common reasons for workplace deaths are workplace violence, human and animal, slips and falls, contact with equipment and objects, and exposure to harmful substances and environments. However, these 4 cause more workplace deaths combined than transportation alone. The top most dangerous occupations, and there's 4 occupations that are listed as the most dangerous occupations you can work in. Agriculture, number 1. You think about all the farm equipment. I know a couple of people who have been injured by farm equipment. In fact, one had lost the entire movement of the right side of his body, paralyzed basically on the right side of his body due to an aerator. Forestry, number 2. Fishing, the 3rd, and hunting, the 4th. This day also highlights the preventable nature of most workplace accidents and ill health. Additionally, it promotes the fight for improvements in workplace safety. Today, friends, remember employees and coworkers, if you know of any, have been killed due to work-related injury or disease. Attend ceremonies or events raising awareness. It's Workers' Memorial Day today. OSHA, of course, founded on April the 28th, 1971. Canadian Union of Public Employees first observed Workers' Memorial Day in 1984, followed by the United States here at home in 1989. The House introduced Joint Resolution 235 to recognize the observance. Across the country, unions and organizations also recognize the day. For years, events have been organized in Canada and here in the United States and then worldwide. Did not know about that day, to be honest. That's why we read these. We try to bring forth stuff you may have. There's a lot of things that I do every day that I read here that I've never known about. Workers' Memorial Day. That is today. And then finally, last but not least, it's National Superhero Day. Could be real or fictional superheroes. How many heroes do we have right now in our front lines, in our hospital, healthcare workers, battling this pandemic? Of course, we all know about Batman, Superman, Captain America, Wonder Woman, Iron Man, the Hulk, Spider-Man, just some of the superheroes whose names we recognize. Even though they are fictional, these superheroes are great role models for our children. They serve and protect while fighting evil. But our real-life superheroes, friends, especially right now during this time, they may not have the superpowers that we see in a Batman or a Superman. They may not wear capes, but they are incredible role models, and their powers, in my opinion, are even greater than those of these fictional characters. They serve and protect while fighting evil. We can say COVID-19 is evil. They serve and protect while fighting this evil virus. Military personnel, police officers, firefighters, teachers, hospital workers. Those are just a handful of the heroes who protect us on a daily basis. Doctors. Today, call up that person that you know that may work in healthcare and tell them how much you appreciate them. That's one way you can celebrate today. Call up that doctor. Send your doctor. Man, most doctors now are telemedicine. Send them a message and just let them know how much you appreciate what they do, not only for you, but for the communities that they work in. 1995, Marvel Comics employees created the National Superhero Day, but it's more than just comics and those fictional characters. It's those that are around us in our lives. Wanted to get to some national news before we sign off. We've got about 7 minutes this morning. Joshua Harris joins us on Tuesdays. He had to leave early this morning at 7:30. Again, you can catch the show every single weekday, Monday through Friday, right here on Hip Radio Network Georgetown. Real simple, by the way. Got many people on the app, as always, this morning. For those of you on Facebook, I want to encourage you to do this. And if you could, do this right now. On your cell phone, go, if you've got an Android, if you've got an iPhone, go to your Play Store, or just go to the iOS store and search for HIP Radio Network. HIPP, HIP Radio Network. Search for that app and download it. Because if you're on the move, if you're on the go, of course, it's sometimes hard. You can't have Facebook open while you're driving because the screen's right there in front of you. But if you download our app, you can actually play our audio in the background. It's not just this show that we have in the mornings, but it's programming 24/7, 365. In fact, today is Tuesday, so tonight we will have our good friend James Chapman with his show that comes on at 7 p.m. It's called Transformation University. But in the middle of all that, we have a lot of commercial programming, music. I say commercial program. We have a lot of music that plays, and then our commercial sponsors, also news updates every hour. We have weather every half hour, severe weather alerts as well. This station really provides a great resource, not just here on Facebook, but through that app as well. So please download that app. Do that for me today if you don't mind. That's one way you can help us. It's free, completely free, HIP Radio Network. And then you can always send us information about how we can improve. What can we do to help you? We always ask for music recommendations. You're always welcome to provide those. Just go to hrngeorgetown.com. Click on requests. There's also a contact page there. Let us know what we can do. Let us know what you want to hear on this station. We'll have that information for you. Again, it's hrngeorgetown.com. But please go and download that app, and that'll help keep us rocking and rolling here in Georgetown. We've also got some exciting news of some more things that we've acquired here at HRN. It's going to better help promote commercial businesses. So maybe you're a business owner out there. You say, Rob, man, I'd really like to get my name out there. I'd really like to promote my business. We can do that here on HRN through our robust platform, through the app, through audio, radio commercials, through a 30-second commercial that plays 150 times a month, but also through Facebook and social media. We do a lot of promotion. In fact, we're having a virtual mixer here at the end of this month on Thursday. We normally have sponsor mixers where you can meet other sponsors, but we're not doing that, of course, physically because of the whole COVID-19, so we're doing it virtually. So there's many opportunities that we can help promote your business here in this community. That's what we exist for, to provide information and resources to Georgetown and Williamson County, but also a way to promote your business. And that's what drives us, and we sincerely appreciate your support and all that you do in helping to make this station possible. A little bit of a morning briefing here from the New York Times before we let you go. We got 4 more minutes. Pressure building across the nation this morning for states to reopen. Governors across the United States are moving ahead with plans to reopen their states' economies. We talked about Texas just earlier. They're planning on reopening on May the 1st, even as public health experts say the country lacks the necessary testing capacity to track and limit the spread of the coronavirus. President Trump resumed his daily coronavirus briefings on Monday with a vow to double the number of tests after previously saying that testing levels were fully sufficient to begin opening up the country. About 1.6% of the population has been tested. The push to reopen the United States economy is likely to exacerbate long-standing inequalities, with relatively affluent workers able to continue working from home, while many lower-paid workers must choose between exposing themselves to the pandemic or losing their jobs. In other developments, Governor Greg Abbott here of Texas, we have almost 30 million people here in the Lone Star State, said that he would let stores, restaurants, movie theaters, and malls reopen with limited capacity on Friday. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention expanded its list of possible symptoms of the virus. Here's some new symptoms to look for: chills, repeated shaking with chills, muscle pain, headache, sore throat, and new loss of taste or smell. Researchers at Oxford University in England are preparing a coronavirus vaccine test. More than 6,000 people involved in this by the end of May. If the vaccine proves effective, scientists say the first doses could be available by September. Very tragic story this morning, and I like to keep things as positive as possible, but a very tragic story this morning that I wanted to share with you. A doctor in New York, and I'm just trying to get this pulled up here. We just had something pop up, and I read through this yesterday, and I was going to mention it here on the show this morning. Let me see if I can get back to this here. It is a very tragic story, though. A doctor, Lorna Breen, this is a top emergency room doctor at a Manhattan hospital that had treated many coronavirus patients, passed away from suicide here on Sunday. Her father stating that. This doctor was on the front lines. We'll find it here on NBC News. This from NBCnews.com. A New York City emergency room doctor. Man, they've got so many ads that pop up on these websites now. A New York City emergency room doctor who was in the front lines of the fight against coronavirus has passed away from suicide, police stating on Monday. Dr. Lorna Breen, 49, who worked at the New York Presbyterian Allen Hospital, was in Virginia when she died on Sunday. A spokesman for the Charlottesville Police Department stating Tyler Hahn. The victim was taken to UVA Hospital for treatment, but she later succumbed to self-inflicted injuries. It was her father, Dr. Philip Breen, who revealed the first details about his daughter's tragic death. He's quoted as saying, "She just tried to do her job and it killed her," he told the New York Times. She was truly in the trenches of the front line. He said his daughter seemed very detached of late, and she described some of the horror she had witnessed at the hospital while battling the virus. Her father, Dr. Philip Breen, said, "Make sure she's praised as a hero because she was. She's a casualty just as much as anybody else who has passed away." The hospital confirmed Laura Breen's death in a statement released by chief spokesperson Lucky Tran, but gave few other details. "Words cannot convey the sense of loss we feel today," the statement said. "Dr. Breen is a hero who brought the highest ideals of medicine to the challenging front lines of the emergency department. Our focus today is to provide support to her family, friends, and colleagues as they cope with this news, during what is already an extraordinarily difficult time." Friends, if you or someone you know is in crisis, please reach out to the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline. That number, 1-800-273-8255. Again, that number is 800-273-8255. You can also text the word HOME, HOME, to 741-741. That's 741-741. 741-741. Text the word HOME to that number. You can also visit speakingofsuicide.com. Something that is very real, and that if we have someone who is struggling, we need to make sure that we reach out to them and encourage them. Look, if you see something on Facebook, don't be afraid of reporting that. That report that you send out could potentially save somebody's life. I know that that is a tragic thing that has affected many of us. In fact, I've had 4 friends that have taken their own life over the years. And I just want to say that I really encourage, if you see something on Facebook, don't ever feel that you don't have to report that. Report that, because like I said, that report could save somebody's life. A lot of times we resort to social media to open up because maybe we can't open up to other people in our lives, and I've seen it all the time where people have posted things on Facebook that maybe they've went back and deleted later. Some maybe they have left. If you see that, report it, please. Time now is 8:01 a.m. As always, I appreciate you joining us here for Good Morning Georgetown. Make sure to tune back in tomorrow from 6 a.m. to 8 a.m. as we will have Eric Leslie of the Saudi Mind joining us. You definitely want to check out the program tomorrow. He is going to talk about how to deal with stress and many other things, and mindfulness, a really awesome program and a business that he has here in our community that is helping a lot of folks, especially right now during this time. I love being able to bring you this show. It is always such a true honor and privilege to be able to speak with you every single morning, to keep you updated with what's going on across the nation, in our community, and as well as give you words of encouragement and hope. You're always going to find that here on Good Morning Georgetown. Friends, we'll see you tomorrow as I end every broadcast reminding you today that we're not strong enough alone to make it on our own. We need each other. Provide a word of encouragement. Lend a hand of support. Somebody out there today needs you. Good morning, Georgetown, and God bless you. We'll see you bright and early tomorrow morning, 6 a.m., as we get things rocking and rolling. Make sure to join us tonight, also 7 p.m. for Transformation University right here on HRN with James Chapman. Good night, or good morning, and God bless everyone.